One of the biggest things that we do as NBA fans is overreact. It's in our nature to watch one game or see a highlight and say that someone isn't good at basketball or that they're the next coming of Michael Jordan. And while sometimes overreactions can be taken to the extreme, it's always fun to hear a mild hot take every now and then. So today, I'm going to be rattling off some of my mild hot takes with a game I like to call Is It Too Early to Say? In this game, I'll start off my overreaction with Is It Too Early to Say? And give an explanation as to why I believe this overreaction. Your job is to comment below which overreaction you agree or disagree with most, and subscribe for more NBA videos just like this one. So without further ado, let's get started. We're going to start out east with one of the preseason favorites to win the NBA title, the Milwaukee Bucks. Is it too early to say the Damian Lillard trade was not the right move to make? Now, to defend the Bucks, we've seen teams that acquired new stars in the offseason take some time to gel before hitting their stride. But man, has their defense been terrible. Despite having Giannis Antetokounmpo and Brook Lopez, two of the best post defenders in the NBA, they're a bottom 10 defense in points allowed, in defensive rebounding, in blocks, and in fast break defense. And while their record sits at 4-2, which is one of the best in the NBA, their wins aren't that impressive. The Bucks own a 1-point win over Philly in their season opener, an 8-point win over the struggling Miami Heat, a 5-point win over a disappointing Knicks team, and a 4-point win over the below-average Nets. Their losses are from the surging Hawks by 17 points and the Raptors, who have one of the worst half-court offenses in the NBA by 19 points. But even if you take away the defensive struggles, the team seems to be completely dependent on Damian Lillard's offensive performance. In the Bucks' 4 wins this season, Lillard averages about 29 points a game and 12 free throws a night. In the Bucks' 2 losses this season, Lillard averages 10.5 points a game and 2 free throws a night. And while we all know Dame as a playoff performer, what if they face a team in the playoffs that has a great perimeter defender? And who on the Bucks has the ability to step up if Lillard has an off night? While it's not time for the Bucks to completely hit the panic button, you have to be at least a little concerned after those first 2 weeks of games. One of the NBA's most interesting storylines this season is Victor Wembanyama, the 7'4" rookie. Because his level of play has been so high this early into his career, is it too early to say that Victor Wembanyama will lead the Spurs to an NBA title? At just 19 years old, Wembanyama is averaging 19 points and 8 rebounds a game, while averaging 2.6 blocks and 1.3 steals a game. It's honestly ridiculous to think that this rookie is legitimately taking over the NBA. And it was evident last week when Wembanyama took over his game against the Suns, putting up 38 points and 10 rebounds, including 10 points and 3 boards in the fourth quarter. But what makes Wembanyama so special is his defensive impact, because even when his shot isn't falling, like on Sunday against the Raptors, he still had 5 blocks. We're starting to see the impact Wembanyama can have on a basketball court, and the reason why I ask this question is because we all know Victor can lead the Spurs to an NBA title, but will he? While the Spurs team is definitely not ready to compete for an NBA title now, is the impact or potential impact of Wembanyama enough in 5 to 10 years to be the number 1 option on a title team? Because I think the answer is yes. Victor will win an NBA title in his career on the Spurs. Because even with some questionable point guard play from Jeremy Sohan, and even with the lack of a scoring option off the bench, the Spurs are still hovering around 500 thanks to Wembanyama, Devin Vassell, and Keldon Johnson. While I'm not quite sure Vassell and Johnson are the championship caliber pieces to surround Wembanyama with, it shows that Wembanyama can coexist with solid perimeter scorers and win games against some of the top teams in the NBA. And I see all of these tools in Victor's rookie season, so imagine how unstoppable he will be in 5 to 10 years. It's tough to predict whether a player can win an NBA title in their career or not, but just 2 weeks into Victor Wembanyama's debut season, I'm confident in saying that he will win an NBA title. Jumping from a player with a lot of potential to a team that still has a lot of question marks, the Los Angeles Clippers might have just created one of my hottest takes ever. Is it too early to say the Clippers experiment has failed? I'm sure I sound ridiculous saying that I'm giving up on the Clippers just 1 game after the James Harden acquisition, but I have a rule that I can't trust a team that doesn't have a clear offensive or defensive game. On offense, there are 4 guys in the starting lineup who are most effective with the ball. And the one argument I had for the Clippers succeeding was that if one of their 4 stars had an off night, the other 3 stars could pick up the load. But in that first game, when Paul George shot only 2 for 11 from the field, and Kawhi, Westbrook, and Harden shot above 50% from the field each, they still lost by double digits. They still only scored 97 points against the struggling, below 500 Knicks, even with Jalen Brunson shooting 2 for 12 from the field. On defense, Kawhi isn't the same defender he was 6 years ago, Westbrook is an average defender at best, and Harden is a below average defender. And while George is still a solid defender, that means almost nothing to me considering he's the best defender on the team. This team was constructed for one reason only, and that's to win an NBA title. And with those expectations, and from what I saw in their first full game against the Knicks, I'm confident in saying that I've given up on this team and will expect nothing but a disappointing first or second round exit, followed by James Harden requesting another trade. One of the biggest standouts of the NBA season so far is Anthony Edwards, the electric forward from the Minnesota Timberwolves. And because he's been so great so far this season, is it too early to say that Anthony Edwards is a top 12 player in the NBA? The players who are guaranteed a spot on this list are, in no order, Jokic, Embiid, Curry, Giannis, Doncic, Tatum, Booker, and Durant. That's 8 players so far. Players who probably deserve to be on this list, but are not absolute locks, are Shea, Butler, LeBron, AD, Lillard, Kawhi, and Anthony Edwards. If we're talking this season alone, I would probably take Edwards' 28 points a game and great defense above everyone on that second list. But when looking at their overall resume, you would have to take Shea, LeBron, and Dame over Edwards. That, to me, leaves the debate of Edwards versus Jimmy Butler versus Anthony Davis for the 12th spot on this list. Talent-wise, Anthony Davis would be the clear answer, but as much as it's overplayed on social media, health is still a major concern. Does AD really deserve the 12th spot despite him playing over 60 games only once in his Lakers tenure? As for Jimmy Butler, we all know why he's on this list. When the playoffs start and the Heat need a guy to step up, Butler routinely puts up 40-point performances. But in the regular season, Butler is, at best, a 20-point per game scorer with average defense. The argument against Butler is that he coasts through the regular season and turns it up for the playoffs. So the question is, what is more valuable? Edwards' stellar regular season performance through 82 regular season games, or Jimmy Butler's otherworldly performance through 4 rounds of the playoffs? I think it's an interesting conversation to have, and a testament to how great Edwards has been that I can't decide who's better between a 22-year-old and 2 established stars. But for now, I would put Edwards below both Butler and Davis and slide him into the 14th slot with room to rise in the rankings depending on how the rest of the season goes. Transitioning from one great player to another, one of my favorite players to watch this season is Tyrese Haliburton. But what I've wondered throughout this season is it too early to say Tyrese Haliburton can be the best player on a title team? When Haliburton has played, the Pacers are 4-2 with a 7-point loss to Chicago and a 1-point loss to Charlotte. He's averaging 24 points and 12 assists a game with a much improved supporting cast, one that has proven to be critical in the Pacers' wins. And while I don't think this team is there in terms of contending, Haliburton's leadership and improved shot-taking abilities has made me think that he can be a guy that is the best player on a title team, something that I didn't think last season. But let's look at Haliburton 5 to 10 years down the line. He's going to be a better playmaker, a better shooter, a better defender, and one of the 10 best players in the league. In fact, if you want a player comp for Haliburton, I see a lot of flashes of Clippers CP3, a guy who is the ultimate game manager and clutch bucket getter who makes the guys around him better. If Haliburton can settle into that role, and the Pacers can get a score-first guard who doesn't need the ball in his hands and a great post player who can get 20 a night, Haliburton can absolutely be the best player on a title team. My last overreaction has to deal with the defending champs. Is it too early to say the Nuggets are going to repeat as NBA champs? In my opinion, the team that looks the best so far into the season is the Denver Nuggets. They're 7-1 so far through the season, with wins over the Thunder by 33, the Mavericks by 11, and the Pelicans by 18. Even with the loss of Bruce Brown and Jeff Green in the offseason, who were 2 key pieces in their title run, Christian Brown and Peyton Watson have filled their roles and honestly looked just as good. We all know of the greatness of Jokic, and if this team is fully healthy, I don't see any other team, other than maybe the Celtics, being able to contain him. And that's without mentioning Jamal Murray and Aaron Gordon, two guys who stepped up big in their playoff run, Michael Porter Jr., a straight shooter who can get you 15 a night, and any potential moves the Nuggets may make before the playoffs. I think it's safe to say the NBA has officially entered the Jokic era, and at this point of the season, the Nuggets are going to be the team to beat in the postseason. But what do you think? Comment below your thoughts on my overreactions, and remember to subscribe for more NBA videos just like this one. I'm Julian with TalkBackSports, and I'll see you next time.